The Galactic hegemony had ruled for 10,000 years. Their military doctrine was simple but effective: overwhelming force. Their warships blotted out stars. Their soldiers stood 3 meters tall, exoskeletons gleaming under alien suns. The hegemony conquered, assimilated, and moved on, leaving behind puppet governments and extraction facilities. When they found Earth, they laughed. Admiral Krax peered through the view screen at the blue-green planet. "Another primitive world," he rumbled, mandibles clicking in amusement. "Scan for resources and military capability." Lieutenant Mez ran the scans, antenna twitching. "Standard class implant. Abundant water, diverse biosphere. Technology level, pre-space travel civilization. Military capability, negligible. Dominant species appears fragile, endoskeletal, slow, weak." Perfect. Krax's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. "Send the standard ultimatum. Give them 1 local rotation to respond. Then we begin harvesting." The message was delivered to every electronic device on Earth simultaneously. Asterisk, submit to the Galactic hegemony, or face extinction. Asterisk. In Washington, D.C., General Thomas Rivera received the transmission with a grim expression. He had 24 hours to prepare humanity for its first interstellar war. "Get me the Joint Chiefs and the President," he ordered, "and contact every allied nation. We're going to need everyone." The hegemony intercepted all Earth communications with mild interest. The humans were panicking as expected. Some advocated immediate surrender. Others wanted to fight. All seemed terrified. "Pathetic," Krax commented, watching the intercepted feeds. "They scurry like neural beagles before the harvest." Lieutenant Mez wasn't so certain. "Sir, they're mobilizing rather effectively for a pre-space civilization, and their military communications show unusual." "Unusual what, Lieutenant?" "Unusual calm, sir. Their military leaders seem almost prepared." Krax dismissed the concern with a flick of his upper appendage. "Primitive bravado. Begin the landing sequence. Standard harvesting pattern." The hegemony dropships descended toward Earth's major population centers. They expected the usual pattern: mass panic, disorganized resistance easily crushed, then submission. Their intelligence suggested humans would break quickly. They were soft, emotional creatures without natural armor or significant physical strength. They were wrong. The first dropship to reach Beijing was met not with panic, but with an organized defense. Earth's militaries had pooled resources and intelligence in the 24 hours they'd been given. When the alien craft opened its doors, expecting to release troops onto a cowering populace, it was met instead with focused artillery fire. Similar scenes played out worldwide. In London, Paris, Moscow, Delhi, everywhere the hegemony landed, they found humans waiting. Not just military personnel, but civilians who had been rapidly organized and armed. Admiral Krax received the first casualty reports with disbelief. How were they coordinating? They shouldn't have the technology to counter our jamming fields. Lieutenant Mez checked the data out again. "Sir, they're using physical runners and simple coded radio transmissions. They've abandoned their digital networks entirely." "Clever," Krax admitted reluctantly, "but futile. Launch the orbital bombardment." The bombardment began, raining destruction on Earth's cities. But the humans had anticipated this too. Critical infrastructure had been moved underground. Military bases had been evacuated, their personnel dispersed to mobile command centers. And human scientists had been working frantically on a countermeasure. Dr. Eliza Reyes had spent the last 16 hours studying the alien transmission patterns. Their ships communicate using quantum entanglement, she explained to the assembled military leaders. But they have a backup system, a type of subspace radio. If we can disrupt that. While the hegemony continued their attack, human hackers and scientists executed their countermeasure. They couldn't defeat the alien technology outright, but they could introduce subtle errors into the targeting systems. The next wave of hegemony bombardment missed their targets by kilometers. Admiral Krax was furious. What's happening? How were these primitives interfering with our systems? What the hegemony hadn't counted on was human adaptability. Where other species surrendered when faced with superior technology, humans improvised. Where others broke under pressure, humans became more focused. And then came the counterattack. Captain Alex Miller led the first strike team to board a hegemony vessel. Their mission: capture alien technology. Remember your training, Miller told the international team of soldiers. We're smaller and weaker, but we're faster and we've got surprise on our side. The boarding party used the hegemony's own landing craft, captured in the initial invasion, to approach the mothership. When they breached the hull, the aliens were unprepared for close-quarters combat with creatures they'd dismissed as weak. What they discovered was that humans, while physically less imposing, had evolved on a high-gravity world with diverse predators. Human reaction times were faster. Human adaptability was unmatched, and human determination, when fighting for their homeworld, was terrifying. The boarding party secured a section of the mothership and transmitted vital technical data back to Earth. Within hours, similar raids were launched against other hegemony vessels. Admiral Krax couldn't understand what was happening. How are they defeating our warriors? They're half our size. Lieutenant Mez had been studying the combat footage. Sir, they're using our size against us. The corridors of our ships are designed for our physiology. These humans, they move differently. They're using the environment itself as a weapon. Hegemony had never encountered a species like humans before. Other conquered races fought conventionally, with whatever technology they had. Humans fought asymmetrically. They didn't try to match the hegemony's strengths. They targeted their weaknesses. 3 days into what should have been a simple harvesting operation, Admiral Krax faced the unthinkable: retreat. We will return with a larger fleet, he growled to his officers. These humans are more trouble than anticipated. But Lieutenant Mez had been monitoring Earth communications. Sir, they've already reverse-engineered components of our propulsion system, and they're manufacturing weapons based on our technology. Admiral Krax stared in disbelief at the tactical display. In just days, the humans had adapted hegemony technology to their own use. At this rate, by the time the main fleet arrived, the humans would be prepared. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Galactic hegemony sent a message of truce rather than conquest. On Earth, General Rivera read the alien transmission with a grim smile. They want to negotiate, he told the assembled leaders. President Clark nodded. Tell them we accept. And then tell them we're keeping the ships they left behind. The Galactic hegemony had ruled for 10,000 years. They had conquered countless worlds and species, but they had never encountered humans before. They would never make the mistake of underestimating them again.